In my last video, I explained about the major pentatonic scale and how we can get 5 shapes from that scale. But what about the minor pentatonic scale? And when do we use the minor or the major scales? That's what I'm going to explain in this lesson. And also I'm going to talk about the application of these scales, when we'd use them and when they're useful. I've made up a PDF booklet with all the fret diagrams and the material from this lesson. You can get a free copy of that by clicking the link below this video in the description. First of all, let's recap the 5 major pentatonic shapes. These are based on a G root, so they're based on the G major pentatonic scale. So these are the 5 shapes. These are just from the G major pentatonic scale. So you can see there, we just kind of started on G, then we started on A, then B, and then C, and then D. Okay, and this gives us our 5 shapes. These all have the same notes in them. Now let's look at the 5 minor pentatonic shapes. Now we're going to build these shapes on E. So we're going to use the E minor pentatonic scale, and I'll explain why in a minute. This is the E minor pentatonic scale starting on the open E. So you get a different shape if you've got the open string. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So we'll get our second shape, okay? We'll just leave out the open E and we'll start on G. Okay, our third shape we start on A. Our fourth shape we start on B. And the 5th shape we start on D. Now all we're doing is we're just using notes from the E minor pentatonic scale, and we're just starting them on different notes. These are sometimes called inversions. So we're not building a new scale on each of these notes. These are the same notes from the E minor scale. If you look here on the diagrams, they're all the same notes in all 5 diagrams. Okay, now it's a bit confusing, as I said, when you've got the open E. So we're going to do another shape here. We're just going to start from the E here, okay? Okay, so alright, so we're going to leave out the one with the open note, and we're just going to call this one shape 5, okay? If you're enjoying this lesson, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can do that by pressing the red subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell and select all, and you'll get notified as soon as I release a new video. If we now compare the 5 G major pentatonic scale shapes alongside the 5 E minor pentatonic shapes, this is what we get. Okay, so as you can see, the shapes are exactly the same and they have the same notes in them. Now the reason for this is because E minor is the relative minor to G major. Okay, every major key has a relative minor key. You just find that by going down 3 frets. Okay, so let's start from G up here, and then we can go down 3 frets. 1, 2, 3, and we get E minor. Okay, so in the key of G major, E minor is the relative minor, and that means that these 2 pentatonic scales work. Okay, in a major key, the relative minor pentatonic scale always works because it's got the same notes in it. Okay, so you only need to learn 5 shapes in total, and you've got all the shapes covered for the major and minor pentatonic scales. Okay, you obviously have to move them around and start on different root notes, but you actually fundamentally only need to know 5 shapes. You need to know kind of an extra shape if you've got like the open string, but across the fretboard, if you haven't got open strings, just 5 shapes. So how can this piece of information help us when we're improvising our own bass lines, riffs and licks? Okay, well, you can always remember that if you've got a major pentatonic scale that you're using over a chord, then you can always use the relative minor pentatonic scale as well. Okay, and vice versa. If you've got a minor pentatonic, you're playing over a minor chord, you can always use the relative major pentatonic scale as well. All of these share the same notes, so that's why they work. This gives us more options when we're creating a lick, because it gets us away from thinking about the root. Okay, if we're doing a groove on G, I kind of did this kind of lick in E minor, which is the relative minor to G. It can kind of get you away from the root and get you kind of playing a more interesting sounding lick. Now students always ask me, how do they know when to use the minor or the major pentatonic scale? There are kind of few loose rules here which help. Okay, when you've got a major chord, you can use the minor or the major pentatonic, okay? So you can use either over a major chord. So if you've got a G7, for example, you can use G major pentatonic and G minor pentatonic. If you've got a minor chord, you can only use the minor pentatonic scale, okay? The major doesn't sound great. So if you've got G minor, just use the G minor pentatonic, not the G major pentatonic. But you can use their relative major and minors, remember, because they share the same notes. I've just hit you with a load of theory, so take time to digest that. Look back over what I've just told you if it's new to you. If you want to work on these sorts of concepts and really advance your playing, then check out my GBS Bass Masters membership. We tackle issues like this. You get a monthly study video where you can put these things into practice. So this is a brand new membership for bass players. If you look below in the description, you'll see a link there, or there should be something up here you can click on now. As I discussed in my last pentatonic video, ultimately it's great to learn the scales over 2 octaves, okay? If you learn them over 2 octaves, say you do G, that's G major pentatonic, you've got all the options across the fretboard of all the notes. You don't have to worry really about the shapes. So I suggest that you learn how to do major and minor pentatonics over 2 octaves, starting on different root notes, okay? Mix it up. You can just do it on A or C. Make sure you're playing the majors and the minors. So let's now look at how to use pentatonics when we're constructing a kind of riff in a bass line. When we're doing that, it's better to build the pentatonic on each chord, okay? So I'll explain what I mean by that. Look at this chord progression. We've got a bar of G minor, a bar of C minor, a bar of D minor, and a bar of G minor, okay? It sounds like this. I've just created a backing track. We could use the pentatonic scale for inspiration to build a riff, okay? If we're doing that, I would build the riff on G minor using the G minor scale, and then on the C minor using the C minor pentatonic scale, and on the D minor using the D minor pentatonic scale, okay? So you're using a different kind of scale for each chord, okay? Now you could come up with something like this. Now I've written a sample bass line a bit like that on the PDF, so you can get that by clicking the link below this description. Remember, I've got all the fretboard shapes on there as well. But if we wanted to solo over this progression, then we'd use the global scale of G minor pentatonic, okay? If you look at the progression again, you can see that it's in the key of G minor, okay? The first and the last chord of G minor. So you could just use the global scale of G minor pentatonic over the whole progression. You wouldn't have to use a separate one for each chord because it's a more melodic idea. I'll just play around with that a little bit with the backing track. Just have a listen. I'm going to try and just use the notes from the G minor pentatonic. I'll also think about it as the relative major pentatonic scale, which is B flat. I'll kind of think about that as well, but remember they share the same notes. Just got these 5 notes, so I'm just going to try and use those notes. Listen to how it sounds when you use the kind of the one scale over the whole progression. Now in reality, if you were creating a solo, you would use different scales. You wouldn't just use the pentatonic. You could put the blues scale in. You could come up with some more ideas, but hopefully I just illustrated how to use that one scale to create a solo that sounds quite cool. What I suggest you do now is make sure that you understand the major and the minor pentatonic scales. Make sure you can play them. Look at those 5 shapes, but also make sure you can play the scales over 2 octaves. Also, make sure that you understand how you get the relative minor key from a major key and how you get the relative major key from a minor key, okay? Because that way you can kind of find scales that work as well. Have a play around with creating your own bass line to this progression, okay? Remember, I've put a sample one on the PDF. You can purchase the backing track. It's really useful because you can try out different ideas and also try soloing using just the global scale of G minor pentatonic. Well, I hope this video has helped you to understand a bit more about major and minor pentatonic scales and when to use them. I'd love to hear what you thought of the lesson. Let me know by leaving a comment below this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me out. And if you head over to my website, gbshed.com, there are details there of my Bass Masters membership that you can join. There are courses over there. I've got video courses, books, and loads more to help you to really advance your bass playing. So that's gbshed.com. This is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed. Hopefully see you very soon in the next lesson.